In the video that I released discussing some of the risks that were associated with Jaguar Health, ticker symbol JAGX, I mentioned the fact that everything that was going on with this company at the moment and a lot of this hype that we were seeing was seemingly all due to rumor and theory. I said that that was something that I did not necessarily like a lot because at the end of the day, rumors do die, and once rumors and hype die, then we have noticed that some stocks do fall off if there's not actual fact and actual news that are related to, this instant growth. Well, with that being said, we did get news today about Jaguar Health that actually backed up a lot of the rumors and the theories that I was associating with that video. I said that I didn't like the fact that a lot of all of these different theories and different rumors that were going around with COVID, I didn't like the fact that there was no action behind it. I didn't like the fact that we didn't see them actually making progress towards exploring all of those different avenues whenever it came to helping with long hauler syndrome and COVID-19 patients. And so with that being said, I was like, well, I hope at some point we can see some type of news or some type of article or something that backs this up and gives us a reason to actually be excited and feel as if they are making, success towards getting towards that goal. And well, today we did get that, to say the least. We did get an article today that said that they were looking to get conditional market authorization for the drug crofelemer out in Europe. I think this could be super duper big for the company itself. And if they are able to get this going and actually start to make real progress towards this thing, I think we could see Jaguar Health blow up even more than they have already. If you do enjoy today's video, you can let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. If you do have any video suggestions, any hot topics, criticism, feedback, anything like that, leave it in the comment section below. I always read every single comment and I will try to reply to as many as I possibly can. With that being said, let's go ahead, let's jump into this article. Let's see what it is all about and what this could potentially do for the company going into the future. So we are here on the article on Seeking Alpha, and it said that Jaguar Health provided an update today regarding the company's plan to explore the possibility of obtaining conditional marketing authorization in Europe to support development and commercialization of crofelemer, the company's novel proprietary drug for the proposed indication of prophylaxis and or symptomatic relief of inflammatory diarrhea, initially to be studied in a long hauler COVID-19 recovery patient population in Europe. Now, if you don't know what conditional marketing authorization is, if we go over here, we can see here that conditional marketing authorization is a pregnant tool for the fast-track approval of a medicine that fulfills an unmet medical need. Despite earlier approval, it guarantees that the medicine meets the rigorous EU standards for safety, efficacy, and quality that comprehensive data is still generated post-approval. It offers a robust post-authorization regulatory framework based on legally binding obligations, safeguards, and controls. Now, some of these do include being full prescribing information and package leaflet with detailed instructions for safe use and conditions for storage, a robust risk management and safety monitoring plan, manufacturing controls including official batch controls for vaccines as required, legally binding post-approval obligations and, an example, conditions for the marketing authorization holder, and a clear legal framework for the evaluation of emerging efficacy and safety data. They also have to have a pediatric investigation plan. When it comes to COVID-19 itself, it says that during the pandemic, EMA's conditional marketing authorization is being used to expedite the approval of safe and effective COVID-19 treatments and vaccines in the EU. This is in line with the EU legislation, which foresees that conditional marketing authorization is used as fast-track authorization during public health emergencies to speed up approval and save lives. So basically, this is a method in which companies can use if they have a product that can somewhat, relieve symptoms or help out with COVID-19. This is a way for these companies to get that product out onto the market as long as it is safe and the negatives don't outweigh the positives. If these two, requirements are met, they have some other obligations, of course, but these are the two big ones. If it's going to help with COVID-19, of course, and if the positives outweigh the negatives, then the EU will clear these to then be released to the product with all of these different requirements that are, necessary for them to actually be able to release it. If that is the case, it will be a way for them to avoid having to go through the very long-lasting and rigorous, process of getting it approved the other way. So I do think that this could be very, very beneficial to Jaguar. We're going to jump back on that other article and we're going to see what other details were released with this. But I do believe at the end of the day that if they are capable of getting this authorization, we could see the revenue that this company could receive from this grow dramatically. Now, I did just want to give a disclaimer. If you ever see me looking over to my left, I've gotten this question a few times, so I'll just make it known now. If you ever see me looking to my left, I have my computer sitting right on the side of me. It kind of helps me hit all my notes and make sure I'm bringing you guys efficient content. So just a little disclaimer, if I'm ever looking to my left, I'm just looking at my computer. So continuing on the Seeking Alpha article, it says that the head of emergencies at the World Health Organization stated on October 5th, 2020 that the agency's best estimates indicate that roughly 1 in 10 people worldwide may have been infected by COVID-19. That's more than 20 times the number of confirmed cases. According to the New York Times, the new, more contagious strain of COVID-19 has now been detected in 45 countries. The Imperial College London even estimates that the new strain tripled its number of infections in England during the November 2020 lockdown. Now, Jaguar said that the virus is moving with urgency, and so are we here at Jaguar and Napo Pharmaceuticals. I'm pleased that our internal team has prioritized this potential new indication for crofelemer. We are engaging a European regulatory firm that has experience with this conditional approval pathway in Europe. With the appearance of more transmissible mutated strains of COVID-19, the potential population of post-COVID-19 recovery patients suffering from gastrointestinal distress associated with long hauler syndrome may expand significantly. It estimates that as high as 1/3 of COVID-19 infected patients develop chronic or chronic episodic long hauler syndrome, a constellation of post-viral infection symptoms. According to a November 1st, 2020 Wall Street Journal article, the majority of the more than 300 long COVID patients being seen at New York City's Mount Sinai Health System Center for Post-COVID Care appeared to have developed a dysautonomia-like condition, and about 40% to 50% of these patients also reported symptoms such as gastrointestinal issues, headaches, and shortness of breath. Based off these figures, the long hauler population experienced gastrointestinal distress could potentially range between 20 to 70 million people just in Europe. Now, this also addressed another risk that I was quite worried about whenever it comes to Jaguar Health. I had not found this information, and I'm very glad that we did find it, because in that video I did also mention, I said that, okay, they're saying a lot of the quotes that we were receiving from CEOs from Jaguar and some of the higher ups on the management team, we were getting a lot of, we believe that people will start to, have these symptoms from COVID-19. We believe that this long hauler syndrome is possible, but they were not, having yet any evidence. They weren't giving us any facts, any numbers. It was just kind of like more theoretical. Whereas now we're starting to get numbers. We're starting to get information. And with that information, then we can then decide, okay, well, what is our potential output? What is the potential amount of people that we are going to have to distribute crofelemer to in order to, appease some of these symptoms? So with that being said, that makes me much more confident as, someone who may be investing into this company, that now there are actual facts. There's actual metrics and numbers that are associated with the potential consumer base that this, drug crofelemer can have. So here we are further into the article. It says that our intention is to focus clinical exploration for the proposed COVID-19 related indication for crofelemer in Europe, where single-payer healthcare systems are interested in preventative measures to diagnose and treat symptoms early that can potentially reduce the burden of chronic illness later. The timeline for potential approval will be discussed with the EMA in accordance with the conditional marketing authorization process, Conte added. To learn more about this process, you can continue here on the Seeking Alpha website. Now, it does also say that on the 14th, which is about 3 days from now, Conte will provide updates on the status of the proposed COVID-19 related indication for crofelemer. So I'm very excited for this webcast. I'm very excited to see, get a few more details about what exactly this process and how far into the process they are. It does say at the top of the article that they are exploring the possibility of conditional marketing. So I'm quite curious to see what may, if they're saying they're exploring it, it means that they're considering some other risks. They're considering some of the negatives that could be associated with this. Now, as we did see going back into, the other article that we saw earlier, there are a lot of different requirements and regulations and obligations in which they have to, hold to in order to actually have this thing going. Now, if they are then, if they do get this authorization, if they get this out into the European market, one thing that I did read earlier today about this whole process right here is that if they fail to meet any of these obligations, if they fail to hit any of the requirements that are necessary to get this out and to get conditional market authorization, if any of that happens and they miss any of these requirements, they could then have that drug be suspended and then have to go through the longer process of getting it approved. So with that being said, that could, put them a few steps back if for some reason they miss any of these steps or if they miss any of these requirements. Now, I don't believe that they would. I think that they would go through each checklist to make sure that they are reaching every obligation that they are obligated to, to reach. But at the end of the day, there are some risks. There are some, possible negative effects of going this route. So I'm curious to see at this webcast what they say, if they, mention any of these risks that are associated and what their plan is going on into the future to actually take action on this idea. Let me know what you guys' opinions are on this down below. I'm quite curious to see how you other Jaguar investors are going about this information. I think that it leads to a lot of potential whenever it comes to this company, as their other products are definitely very intriguing for sure. I think that crofelemer and actually being able to help out with this pandemic itself could be very substantial, and I think we could see it hit a lot of growth and a lot of momentum if they do continue to go through this process and actually do get that authorization. With that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, you can let me know again by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. I'll be posting 2 to 3 videos every single day, so you can expect to see me soon. Peace.